Speaker is not working.
Hello, good afternoon. Welcome po sa 126 Climate Outlook Forum. Ako po si Ed mag-host ngayon para sa... Marami pong salamat sa lahat ng dumalo sa forum na ito. Pinapasalamatan ko nga rin po ang ating butihing administrator na si Dr. Vicente B. Malano, si Dr. Landrico Dalita Jr., Deputy Administrator for Operations and Services, and Catalino L. Davis, na Deputy Administrator for Administrative and Engineering Services. Pati na rin po kay Dr. S.P. Kayanan, for Research and Development. Ngayon po, alamin po natin ang mga susunod na mga kalagayan ng panahon. At para po sa papasimula, nais ko pong ipakilala sa inyo at ang magbibigay ng panimulang pagbati mula sa ating butihin na si Dr. S.P. Kayanan, OIC Deputy Administrator po ng Research and Development. Dr. S.P., good afternoon po.
Hello, good afternoon. Magandang hapon po sa ating lahat. At welcome po sa 125th Climate Forum ngayong buwan ng Hulyo. So, typhoon season na po ngayon. Kaya po, kailangan po natin ng update tungkol po sa ating panahon at sa mga kung ano po yung magiging kalagayan ng ating klima o panahon sa susunod na 6 na buwan. So, for today, we will be having presentations about the weather forecast for the next 3 to 5 days. And then, of course, we will be having the dam updates from the Hydromet Division. And then we will be discussing again the review of the past events, for weather events for the past month. And the highlight of this outlook or climate forum is the outlook for the next 6 months. So, ngayon po, malalaman natin, may El Nino ba talaga o La Nina? So, siguro po, yan yung tanong na sasagutin natin ngayong hapon na ito. And then, sasagutin din po siguro yung tanong na maulan ba sa mga susunod na buwan? Kasi parang puro thunderstorms yung ating naranasan for the past days. So siguro po, subaybayan natin yung susunod na 1 oras o higit pa para malaman po natin yung update sa ating panahon at sa klima sa susunod na 6 na buwan. Maraming salamat po sa mga participants na online ngayon. At sana po ay yung impormasyon na ating maririnig o malalaman natin ngayon ay magagamit natin sa pagpe-prepare natin ng ating mga activities. Lalo na po ngayong buwan ng Hulyo, we are observing po yung National Disaster Resilience Month. So importante po yung mga impormasyon na malalaman natin ngayong hapon. Kaya siguro po kailangan na natin mag-proceed para po doon sa mga mahahalagang impormasyon ngayong hapon. Muli po, magandang hapon at maraming salamat.
Thank you po, Dr. S.P. Kayanan, para po sa paunang pagbati po. Maraming pong salamat. At pinapasalamatan ko rin nga po pala ang mga stakeholders na walang sawa pong sumusubaybay sa atin at lagi pong umattend sa ating forum mula po sa PSNA, sa Disaster Risk Management.
Computer audio.
Para po sa ulat panahon po na i-present ngayon, nakahanda na po ba ang ating weather forecaster po from Weather Division, Senior Weather Specialist, si Sir Chris Perez. Sir Chris? Sir Chris? Sir Chris? Ready ka na po ba? Para magbigay po ng weather update. Sir Chris?
Chris, paki-share mo na yung screen. Chris Perez.
Wait lang po natin si Sir Chris.
Chris, ikaw na, Chris Perez. Share your screen now.
Hello ma'am, wala po akong marinig dito. Ako na po ba?
Yes, yes sir.
Oo.
Sige po, ano na lang kahit wala akong naririnig dito. Hindi ko nga po narinig yung speech niyo.
Sige po sir.
Sige, hayaan ko na po. So, magandang araw po sa kanila at narito po ang update natin regarding dito sa sa latest weather update natin para sa araw na ito. So, ito pong weather report natin is base sa forecast na inisyu natin kanina alas 5 ng umaga. At dito po sa pinakang latest animation natin, mapapansin natin meron tayong kumpol na kaulapan na papalayo nga ditong ating bansa, itong papunta na ng West Philippine Sea. Samantala, nagmo-monitor din tayo dito sa possible na sama ng panahon. Nasa labas pa ito ng ating air responsibility as of kaninang alas 8 ng umaga. At base sa pagtaya ng pag-asa, ito ay approximately nasa layong 1,010 kilometers east ng hinatuan. So nasa labas pa rin po ito ng ating air responsibility at hindi pa nakaka-apekto sa anumang bahagi ng ating bansa. Pero balikan natin, ito yung remnants ng low pressure area na minonitor natin noong nagdaang araw at inaasahan itong mga kumpul na kaulapan na ito ay magdudulot pa rin ng maulap na kalangitan at mga pag-ulan at ilang pulupulong pagkidlat at pagkulog dito sa may Maropa. Ganon din dito sa may bandang lalawigan ng Laguna, Batangas, Cavite at Quezon. Dito naman sa natitirang bahagi ng Luzon, kasama na nga dyan ng Metro Manila, naging maulan ng mga nagdaang araw, nagdaang 12 oras, so improving weather na po, pero saan pa rin yung ilang isolated rain showers or thunderstorms, lalo na sa dakong hapon o gabi. At yung inaasahan natin na maximum daytime temperature sa araw na ito dito sa Metro Manila ay posibleng umabot po ng around 33 degrees Celsius, 35 degrees Celsius naman sa may bandang Tugigaraw. Samantala, dulot pa rin ng remnants ng low pressure area na nakita natin. Western Visayas, maulap din at may mga pag-ulan. Natitirang bahagi po ng Kabisayan at ang buong Mindanao, patuloy ang mainit at medyo malinsangang panahon. Pero may tsansa pa rin ng ilang isolated rain showers or thunderstorms, lalo na sa dakong hapon o gabi. So mapapansin natin na may kababaan yung inaasahan natin na maximum daytime temperature sa Iloilo City ngayong araw, around 29 degrees Celsius lamang. Subalit, sa natitirang bahagi po ng Visayas at sa Mindanao ay talagang may kataasan pa rin. Makikita natin mag-range ng 30 hanggang 34 sa mga areas na nakikita natin dito sa ating screen. So sa mga kababayan po natin na hindi may iwasang nasa labas ng bahay dahil sa nature ng kanilang trabaho o kailangan bumili ng supplies para sa kanilang pamilya, pinapayan po natin magdala lagi ng payong dahil kung hindi man protection sa biglang pag-ulan, ay protection po natin sa init ng araw. At sa mga lagay naman ng pag-aalon ng mga karagatan sa paligid ng ating bansa, wala po tayong nakataas na gale warning. No? Magiging favorable sa mga mangingisda at yung mga may maliit sa kayang pandagat ang pumalaw sa anumang bahaging ng karagatan ng ating bansa. Subalit, mag-ingat pa rin po pag nagkaroon ng offshore na thunderstorm activity, posibleng maging maalon biglaan itong mga bahagi ng karagatan. Lalong-lalo na po dito sa may bandang bahaging itong karagatan sa may patungong West Philippine Sea dahil nakita nga natin yung kumpol na kaulapan na remnants ng nabanggit nating low pressure area. At sa ngayon pinakikita po natin yung numerical weather prediction model simulation ng Global Spectral Model. Isa po sa mga forecasting tools na ginagamit natin. Makikita po natin dito yung surface wind forecast mula po July 23 hanggang July 25. So simula po bukas, actually in-initialize po ito ngayong araw. So yung nakikita nating animation ay simula ngayong araw hanggang sa darating na Sabado. Mapapansin po natin yung direksyon ng hangin na makaka-apekto, currently nakaka-apekto at makaka-apekto pa sa ating bansa sa mga darating na araw ay magmumula sa silangan hanggang timog silangan. So wala po tayong inaasahan na habagat episode for the next 3 to 4 days hanggang dumating yung weekend. Pero yun nga, meron pa rin tayong mga inaasahan na isolated thunderstorms, lalo sa dakong hapon o gabi dito sa Metro Manila. Around 33 to 34 degrees Celsius yung magiging maximum daytime temperature for the next 3 days. So painit na po ulit, no? Dahil nga wala na epekto ng ITCC at saka yung remnants ng low pressure. And then sa Baguio, maglalaro sa around 25 to 26 degrees Celsius, habang sa Legazpi naman, yung maximum ay maglalaro sa around 32 to 33 degrees Celsius. Samantala sa Cebu, mainit at malinsangan din, ilang isolated thunderstorm, asahan sa dakong hapon o gabi, around 31 to 32 degrees Celsius yung range ng daytime temperature. At sa Davao naman, 33 hanggang 34 degrees Celsius. So patuloy yung mainit at malinsangang panahon, lalong-lalo po sa Visayas at Mindanao area for the next 3 days. Wala po tayong inaasahang bagyo at wala rin po tayong inaasahan na habagat episode. Pero kung babalikan natin kanina yung satellite animation, yung nasa may bandang silangan ng Mindanao, posibleng maging low pressure area. Ito yung i-monitor po natin sa mga darating na susunod na oras, susunod na araw, at patuloy po tayong magbibigay na abis sa ating mga kababayan kung ano man po yung magiging development nito at kung ano yung mga lugar na posibleng maapektuhan sa mga darating na araw. At ang araw po ay lulubog mamayang alas 6:28 ng hapon. At karagdagang impormasyon po online hinggil nga sa magiging lagay ng ating panahon, mangyari lamang bisitahin ang aming website bagong.pagasa.dost.gov.ph. At yan po muna ang latest mula dito sa Pag-asa Weather Forecasting Center. Magandang araw po sa kanilang lahat.
Maraming salamat po, Sir Chris Perez, para po sa ulat panahon. Ngayon po, dadako po tayo ngayon sa pagbibigay ng estado ng ating mga dams. Mula sa Hydromet Division po, nandito po si Miss Sonia Serrano po, Weather Specialist to Hydrologist ng Hydromet Hydrological and Meteorological Division. Ma'am Sonia, good afternoon po. Ma'am, nakamute kayo, ma'am.
Magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat. Tumako po tayo dito sa kalagayan ng ating mga dams dito sa Luzon.
Naka-duster ako, no?
Sa ngayon po, ang Angat Dam natin na nasa 184.10. Ito po ay bahagyang bumaba mula po kahapon ng 0.14 meters. Ang Ipo Dam po natin na nasa 98.92, bahagyang umakyat po. Ang Lamesa Dam po naman natin ay nasa 77.71 meters. Ito po ay bahagyang bumaba ng 0.02. Ang Ambuklaw Dam po naman natin ay nasa 741.52 meters, bahagya po umakyat. Ang Biña Dam, 568.27 meters. Ang San Roque Dam natin ay nagbuhagyang tumaas, nasa 231.82 meters. Ang Pantabangan Dam po natin ay nasa 176.6 meters, bumababa po. Ang Magat Dam ay nasa 165.63 meters. Ang Kaliraya po ay nasa 287.75 meters, bagya po tumaas. Ang Angat Dam po natin para ma-reach ang normal high water level ay kinakailangan ng ulan na 1,321 millimeters. Ito po namang San Roque Dam natin ay nangangailangan ng 2,588 millimeters of rainfall para po ma-reach yung normal high water level. Ang Pantabangan Dam naman po natin ay kinakailangan ng 2,956 millimeters of rainfall para po ma-reach yung 216 na level ng tubig na normal high water level. Ito naman pong Magat Dam natin ay nangangailangan na ng 306 millimeters of rainfall para po ma-reach yung 190. Sa ngayon po, ang pinapakita sa graph na ito, no, yung water level natin sa Angat Dam ay medyo pababa ng konti, pero dapat po umangat na ito kasi inaasahan natin previously na second week ng July, dapat paakyat na to yung ating Angat Dam. Sa San Roque Dam naman, ito po ay sa San Roque Dam naman, ito po ay bumababa din, kaya lang po hindi naman masyado. Pero dapat po ito ay mag-peak na, simula ng umakyat ng last week ng July last week. Dito naman sa Pantabangan Dam natin, ito po ay medyo stable po, nasa 183 point. Ang pinakailangan lang po dito, medyo stable siya, kaya lang po pababa pa rin. Dapat mag-pick up na po siya ng last week ng July. Samantalang ang Magat Dam po natin, ang Magat Dam po natin ay nasa 165.63 meters. Ito po ay medyo pababa po ng 0.6 at mababa po siya sa roll curve natin. Pero dapat po first week ng August mag-pick up na rin siya. Samantala, ang Lamesa Dam naman natin ay nasa 77.71 meters. Ito po ay mababa po sa normal high water level ng 80.15 meters. Samantala, ito po ang assessment level natin for August 2020. Ang Angat Dam po natin ay forecast basin rainfall mula po sa claims ay 370 millimeters of rainfall. Samantalang ang dam allocation natin ay 77 cms. Ang expected water level natin given ang 77 na allocation at forecast basin rainfall ay magiging 185.77 sa August 31 po. At ito ay inaasahan natin na mas magkakaroon po ng deviation na 2.49 mula po sa rule curve na 183.5 sa last day po ng August. Kaya medyo positive po, pataas siya. Ang estimated basin rainfall natin nga po, katulad na sinabi ko kanina, ay nasa 1,321 millimeters of rain to reach normal high water level. Samantala po dito po sa San Roque Dam, may forecast basin rainfall na 764 millimeters of rainfall. Ang dam allocation po natin sa itong papasok na August ay 106 cms. Inaasahan po natin na ito tayo ay makakakuha ng water level na 226.31 meters base po dun sa forecast rainfall at dam allocation. Ito po ay magkakaroon po ng malaking epekto na 27.13 meters ang ibababa dahil po sa malaking alokasyon na gagamitin nila para sa buwan ng Agosto. Ang inaasahan po natin na mayroong pagbaba mula po sa 231.84 meters po ngayon, dun po sa August 31 na ang ating magiging forecast water level ay 226.31 meters. Kinakailangan po natin ng 2,588 millimeters of rainfall para po makakuha natin yung normal high water level. Samantala po dito po sa Pantabangan Dam, ang forecast basin rainfall po ay 389 millimeters of rainfall. Ang dam allocation naman ay nasa 46.2 at inaasahan natin na magiging 182.4 meters po sa last day of August at ito ay tumaas kumpara sa ngayon na 176.6 meters. Ang deviation natin sa roll curve ay negative 30, medyo mababa po at ang ating estimated basin rainfall ay 2,956 millimeters of rainfall para po ma-reach yung normal high water level. At ang Magat Dam po naman ay nasa 459 millimeters of rainfall ang forecast natin for August. At ang dam allocation ay 121.5. Inaasahan po natin na magiging mag-e-exceed sa normal high water level. Yun po ang na-compute natin, mag-over siya sa 190 na normal high water level. Ang rule curve natin sa ngayong August ay nasa 182.5, kaya inaasahan natin na ito ay sobrang taas pa kaysa sa rule curve na 182.5 sa last day ng August po. At ang estimated rainfall po na basin rainfall to reach normal high water level ay nasa 306 millimeters of rain. Yan po ang ulat natin dito sa dam monitoring mula po sa Hydromet Division. Dumako po tayo kay Miss Rusi Abastillas po, Senior Weather Specialist ng HAD. Para po sa review ng climate condition during the past 2 months.
Tapos na ang weather division.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Miss Rosie,
Mahina kasi yung aking mabagal yung inyong connection ko. Wait lang ha. Nakikita niyo na ba yung screen po?
yes, ma'am.
Hello?
Yes, Rusi. Slide view mo na.
Hello? Naririnig na po.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so magandang hapon po sa atin. Naka-slide view na mabagal po. Nakikita na po?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So for the climate review for us, so the outline of the presentation would be the recent ENSO conditions, the weather system in the country for the period, the climate assessment for temperature, rain, as well as cyclones, and then summary. So for the recent ENSO conditions, this slide shows the June sea surface
Meron pong technical difficulties po. Nawala po.
na-disconnect po.
Ayan, ma'am Rosie. Balik ka na.
Okay.
I-share mo na lang po ulit, ma'am.
Unstable talaga yung aking connection. I-share ko ulit.
Yes, ma'am.
I can't. Okay. Nakikita na po.
Yes, ma'am.
Nakikita na? Hello?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, to continue, this is the June. Okay. Naglalag talaga. Sorry. So, this is the June sea surface temperature. On the left figure shows the normal sea surface temperature average or normal is 1981-2010. And then in the upper right figure, this is June 24, this normal against the observed. In the lower figure, makikita natin kung umiinit ba o lumalamig yung ating sea surface temperature, specifically dito sa tropical Pacific. That we have in the eastern equatorial Pacific, lumalamig siya or negative anomaly, whereas dito naman sa western Pacific, from the central to the western Pacific, positive anomaly pa rin. So, ibig sabihin na malamig yung ating eastern equatorial Pacific at dito po sa central and western Pacific, medyo tumataas, medyo nasa average pa siya. And this is the evolution of our sea surface temperature, also taken from the website of AGASA, which is part of our ENSO monitoring, from April up to June. So it shows in April, halos yung ating sea surface temperature anomaly along the tropical Pacific, nasa positive siya or shows near average to positive anomalies. Then, ng May, nakikita na may signature na siya na medyo lumalamig, have the bluish color, meaning negative anomalies or medyo lumalamig na yung ating tropical Eastern Pacific. But itong June, mas lalong lumamig, itong Eastern Equatorial Pacific, yung Central Pacific, medyo humina siya nasa near average, and sa Western Pacific naman, positive anomaly. So dito lang talaga sa Eastern ang meron nakikita na
Miss Lucy?
nawawala ako. Mahina talaga siya.
Ma'am Lucy, i-share
Yes.
na lang natin yung ano mo, mag-audio ka na lang. I-share
Audio na lang. Stop share ko muna. Alam, kailan may inano ako in-edit.
Meron ka bang in-edit mo?
I-stop ko na. Hindi talaga pwede.
Wait lang po. May technical difficulties lang po.
Ano? Stop ko muna.
Ma'am Ruth,
Shall I-
okay lang ba ako na lang mag-share? Tapos kayo na lang po yung mag-discuss?
Oh, sige, sige. May binago kasi ako. Sige, sige na. Pwede na kasi mahina talaga.
I-share
May-
screen ko na po.
Doon na tayo sa ENSO indicators na lang. Sa next na lang, May. Ay, hindi ba yan narinig kanina? Okay, next. Start ako dito. So
Sige,
this
ma'am.
is the, naririnig na po?
Yes, ma'am.
So this shows the evolution of our sea surface temperature during the past 3 months. So makikita dito na noong April, makikita pa natin na medyo yung ating tropical Pacific is still the positive side. Wala pa tayong nakikita mga blue na kulay na ibig sabihin it's the negative anomaly. Pero nung May, there is already a signature of negative anomalies, or meaning lumalamig po yung ating tropical Pacific. And then itong June, mas lumamig pa siya dito sa Eastern Equatorial Pacific, kung saan nakikita natin na nag-darker pa yung kulay blue. Ibig sabihin, mas lumalamig pa siya kaysa normal. Next screen, please. Next slide, please. So, ito po yung ating mga ENSO indicators wherein pag nagmo-monitor tayo ng ENSO or El Nino or La Nina, tinitingnan po natin itong dalawang major indicator na to kasi ito po ENSO natin is a coupling between the ocean and the atmosphere. So, unang indicator is the oceanic indicator, which is the anomaly, sea surface temperature anomaly, at specifically for the Nino 3.4 region. At yung line pala from yung red na line, that values 0.5 and above that line is denotes El Nino, and then pag yung blue line negative 0.5 and below, that's for La Nina conditions, and then in between those two lines are neutral values. So sa ngayon nakikita natin na since June 2018 we have an El Nino during that time, 2018 up to 2019. So makikita natin na above threshold of 0.5 yung ating makikita. And then bumaba siya, and then lately meron tayong parang borderline El Nino na short-lived. And then starting April, ang ating trend ng sea surface temperature anomaly is pababa. Pero sa ngayon nasa neutral value threshold pa rin siya. Paki-click, May. Isa pang click. And this is for the monthly SO. Ay, pabalik muna. Pabalik muna. And this is for the atmospheric, pabalik po. Hindi. Click. Isang click, yan. And for the atmospheric indicator, wag muna. Hindi pa ako tapos. Oh my gosh. Pabalik. Next slide, please. Click. Yan. Okay. So, yun lang naman yung slide na yun. Nagpapakita na yung ating atmospheric indicator shows slightly negative anomaly also. That is for the Southern Oscillation Index or SOI, which is the difference between the sea level pressure of Tahiti and Darwin. So, from that monitoring and assessment, we have come up with a monthly climate assessment and outlook advisory, or MCAO. We call it MCAO, which was initiated natin ng July 7, stating that the cool ENSO neutral conditions are already present in the tropical Pacific, and the sea surface temperatures across the central and eastern equatorial Pacific had become cooler than average. However, slightly warmer SSTs were still observed in the Western Pacific, and the atmospheric indicator was also slightly negative. So, ibig sabihin, hindi pa sila nagkakaroon ng coupling talaga. And then also, we have issued a press statement last July 16, 2020. We have already issued La Nina Watch kasi binabantayan na natin yung development lang La Nina, yung cooling doon sa tropical Pacific. And there is more than 50% chance that a weak La Nina will develop in either late October or November, which may last through the first quarter of 2021. So our PAGASA, next click, please. Pag-click. So our PAGASA ENSO alert system as of today is La Nina Watch. And this is the, La Nina Watch. Okay, next slide, please. So this is our advisory that we issued in text form and also the simplified format, which is available through this link in our website. Next, please. And also, this is the La Nina Watch, which we issued the press statement last July 16, which is also available na makikita po sa aming website. Na binabantayan na po natin yung ating development ng La Nina conditions. So these are the weather systems that affected the country from June up to July 20 of 2020. So these are most of these weather systems are rain-bearing weather systems. So tulad ng una is the southwest monsoon, which today is still weak. Kasi forecasted naman talaga na mahina yung ating southwest monsoon. So as of today, yun nga, tulad ng pinapakita ni Chris, meron na namang parang break na naman yung ating southwest monsoon. And mostly, ang mararanasan natin is the localized thunderstorms, which affects the whole country. Then the intertropical convergence zone, which sa ngayon ang kanyang axis is to Visayas and Southern Luzon area na last kasi sa Mindanao. And then easterlies, mas malakas ngayon, the low pressure areas kung saan embedded din siya minsan sa ITCZ. And then yung ridge of high pressure, pag may ganito po tayo, yun ang mararanasan natin na medyo maganda yung ating panahon at walang masyadong ulan at mas mainit yung ating temperatura. And then we have 2 tropical cyclones from June to July. So sa June, we have only one, Tropical Storm Buchoy, June 11 to 12, and TD Karina, July 13 to 14. Next, please. Okay. So, sa mga bago pa lang ng aming mga mapa, so this is our rainfall maps. Ang itsura, iba-iba po yung kulay, depende po sa rainfall na distribution. So this represents the percent of normal. So pag nakikita natin na yung ating mapa is kulay pula, ibig sabihin yan, yung ating rainfall is less than 40% of the normal rainfall. And then pag yellow, that is 41 to 80% of the normal rainfall. Pag green, 81 to 120% of the normal rainfall. At pag blue naman is greater than 120% of the normal rainfall. And simple lang yung pagkuha natin ng percent of normal, that is the actual or the observed rainfall over the normal rainfall times 100. So that is the percent. Next, please. So this is the observed or the actual rainfall for June 2020. Showing on the left map is the normal rainfall for June, which is based on the average rainfall from 1981 to 2010. So makikita natin na yung ating rainfall for June is halos buong bansa may mga ulan na about 100 to 300 millimeters. And for the actual observed rainfall sa gitnang mapa, makikita natin na yung rainfall natin doon sa northern Luzon less than 100 millimeters, but in other parts of the country, meron tayong mga pag-uulan, about 100 to 200 millimeters. And translating that into percent of normal, makikita natin dito sa mapa sa percent of normal, kung saan the northern part of Luzon is have experienced way below normal, and the rest of Luzon and the northern and central parts of Luzon, the western part, have below normal, but for the rest of the country, generally near to above normal rainfall was observed, specifically doon sa eastern Mindanao kung saan meron tayong above normal rainfall na na-experience. Next, please. So this is the matrix for the rainfall per province for June 2020. And out of these 82 provinces that we analyzed, more than 50% or 55% shows near normal rainfall. 23% of these provinces experienced above normal rainfall, 17% below normal rainfall, and only 5% have experienced way below normal rainfall. Next, please. Next, please. So this is just the comparison of how dry or wet our June rainfall is. Okay, so this is the actual rainfall for July 1 to 20. So makikita natin sa left na slide, showing the concentration of rainfall of about more than 400 millimeters is over the western part of Luzon. Mas maulan talaga siya pag July. And sa other parts of the country, about 100 to 200 millimeters of rain. Pero yung ating na-observe, actual, from July 1 to 20, halos wala pa tayong nakikita ng mga dark blue colors dito sa western section. Nagpapakita na medyo mahina yung ating southwest, and only mga pulo-pulong pag-ulan ang makikita natin. So translating that into percent of normal, we could see that generally most parts of the country have experienced still way below to below normal rainfall, except for some portions or patches na mga may green or areas, isolated areas that have observed near normal rainfall. So next, please. Next slide. So in matrix, you can see that most provinces have yellow and red, ibig sabihin below normal to way below normal rainfall. So out of these 82 provinces, only 10% of the country have reached the near normal rainfall, but about 90% have experienced still, kasi hindi pa naman tapos yung buwan, have still below and way below normal rainfall. Especially the way below, 54%, 36% are below normal, and no province yet has received above normal rainfall. Next slide, please. Next slide. So this is for tropical cyclone assessment for June. We have only one tropical cyclone for June, and this is the cumulative rainfall during its passage. Only for 2 days, June 11 to 12, for Tropical Storm Buchoy, showing that the concentration of rainfall is over its track, nasa track siya. And this tropical cyclone was developed from a low pressure area inside already of the Philippine area of responsibility, and bago siya mag-exit, nag-intensify siya into a tropical storm. And this is the table and the graph showing the highest cumulative rainfall during the passage on our stations na mga na-monitor. So yung mga stations na nakakuha ng mas mataas na ulan, yung from the Iba, Subic down to other areas na mas may mataas na ulan na more than 50 millimeters. Pero yung iba is more than 200 millimeters during this 2 days lang kasi siya na nagka-apekto sa ating bansa. Next, please. Next slide. And this is the track. So normally, makikita natin na within the normal track pa rin siya. And these are the reports from the NDRRMC. Next slide, please. So these are the impacts of Tropical Storm Buchoy, na nagkaroon din siya ng mga flooding over Metro Manila and some parts of Luzon. Next, please. And for July, as of July 20, 2020, tropical cyclone, ito po yung ating bagyo, still isa pa lang sa July, which is the Tropical Depression Karina, na na-develop din siya from a low pressure area dito na sa loob ng ating Philippine area of responsibility. Tapos it traverse in the upper or the extreme northern Luzon area. And bago po siya lumabas ng ating PAR, it dissipates and weakened into a low pressure area. So ito po yung rainfall accumulated niya lang na makikita natin na doon lang po sa extreme northwestern Luzon ang may mga pag-uulan ng about 200 millimeters, 100 to 200 millimeters. And sa track naman, it also follows the mga average tracks ng bagyo during July. And by the way, this is only the third tropical cyclone na pumasok po sa ating bansa as of this year. Next, please. And for the accumulated rainfall during the passage of Tropical Depression Karina, showing what stations have received rainfall of about 100 millimeters or more for the past 2 days, for the July 13 to 14 during its passage. So it shows that the Batak, Inlawag, Apari have received rainfall more than 150 or more, about 150 millimeters, whereas the other stations in Luzon have only about less than 50 millimeters. And also, dito po tinignan din natin kung ano ba yung na-contribute ng bagyo na to, kung naka-enhance ba siya ng southwest monsoon. So dito makikita natin sa mga stations in Talagyo and in Angat, only 26 millimeters ang natanggap na ulan for 2 days ng Talagyo station, and Angat station is only 15 millimeters. Please. So wala masyadong mga reports for the damages of Karina. Only we have in extreme northern Luzon, Ilocos Norte, Abra, and Isabela, wherein there is a bridge that damaged due to a overflow of river. There are also reported na mga landslides sa Ilocos Norte and landslide also in Abra. Next slide, please. So for temperature assessment for the months of June, on our map, we can see mga dots. So ibig sabihin yan, ang mga station anomalies yan sa ating na mga ino-observe sa station. So pag kulay-pula, ibig sabihin mas warmer siya doon sa average. Pag yung kulay blue, mas malamig siya kaysa average. So dito makikita natin generally na yung ating temperature during the months of June shows near average to warmer than average temperatures, mostly in most parts of the country. And for the observed temperature extremes for the month of June, as of June 30, yung pinakamataas na record is 38.6 in Isabela State University, 38.6, and 15 point, and the lowest is 15.1 recorded in BSU or Benguet State University in La Trinidad, Benguet in June 30. For Metro Manila stations, ang pinakamainit nung June is 36.7 recorded in NAIA in Pasay City in June 6, and the lowest is 24.5 degrees Celsius in Science Garden, Quezon City on June 9. But still, it doesn't surpass its highest extreme record, which is 38 for the highest and 18.1 for the lowest. And for the historical records, still wala pang na-surpass na 42.2 yung Tuguegarao station natin, highest. And in Metro Manila, it's 38.6. That is for all months, for all stations. And the lowest for Metro Manila is 14.5. Mga 1914, mga matagal na panahon na hindi pa siya na-surpass. And for 2020, January to June, so ang pinakamainit natin na monitor is 41.2. Ito na po yung pinakamainit sa Isabela State University pa rin, last May 11. And then sa Baguio City, we have 9.4 degrees Celsius last February 21. And sa BSU in Benguet also, it's 6.3 degrees Celsius in February 4. And for Metro Manila stations, we have 37.4 last May 5 from NAIA station. And then for the lowest is 18.5 degrees Celsius in Science Garden, Quezon City, February 1 and February 4. Next slide, please. We have 37.4 last May 5. And that station that was surpassed was the Clark station in Pampanga, wherein it recorded observed, hindi ko makita kasi sa slide, 37.5 degrees Celsius, and it surpassed the highest, which is 36 degrees Celsius, with an anomaly of 1.5 degrees Celsius. Next slide, please. So, and this is for assessment for temperature for July 1 to 2020. This map also shows mga marami pa rin mga red dots. Ibig sabihin, generally, near to above average temperature was still observed in most parts of the country. Isang dot lang yung nakikita natin na negative, slightly below. But generally, near to above average temperature is observed. And for the extremes, for this month, as of July 20, ang pinakamainit is 37.8 still recorded in ENSO in Isabela last July 8, July 3 and July 8. And the lowest was recorded in Mindanao, which is in Balay-Balay, Bukidnon, in July 19, which is 14.8 degrees Celsius, malamig sa Mindanao. And for Metro Manila stations, we have 37.5 recorded in Port Area, Manila, that's July 6. And for the lowest is 24.2 degrees Celsius in Science Garden last July 15. So for historical records, still the same. Yun pa rin ang ating mga highest or extreme records for all months and for all stations. And for January 2020 to June, this is as of July 20. So still, ang pinakamainit ganun pa rin, ENSO 41.2, still the same ang ating mga, hindi pa siya na-surpass yung mga highest, lowest for all stations monitored and also for Metro Manila. Next slide, please. So these are the selected significant climate anomalies and events for June 2020, showing that in Asia, there is a potential for a new maximum temperature in the Arctic Circle. So mas mainit ang ating nararanasang temperatura, and in other parts of the globe, there are wildfires that occurred in the United States, Tropical Storm Cristobal, and in Australia, they have also experienced drier than average conditions. Okay, so these are just selected events. Next, please. And in other parts. So for temperature anomalies in terms of percentiles, so June 2020 is the third hottest or warmest June on record, which is makikita natin sa ating mga mapa kung ano ba yung mga record warmest or much warmer na temperatures. Hindi naman siya pare-pares all throughout the globe. Pero specifically dito sa atin sa Pilipinas, we could see that we have a much warmer than average temperature is experienced. So same siya ng 2015 na third warmest ang June. So for summary, for our ENSO alert system in June, we still have is still inactive. For tropical cyclone, we have one tropical storm Butchoy, which we have forecasted 1 or 2. So for rainfall assessment, we have way below to below normal rainfall experienced in northern and central parts of Luzon, and then near to above normal rainfall observed in most parts of the country. And for temperature, paki-click. So generally near to above average surface air temperatures were observed over most parts of the country. Next slide, please. Okay, so patapos na po. So for July 1 to 20, we have already issued a press statement for La Nina Watch. So our ENSO alert system status is already La Nina Watch. And for our tropical cyclone, we have only one, that's Tropical Depression Karina, which we forecasted 2 to 4, but hopefully meron pang isa. And then for rainfall, we have assessment, way below to below normal rainfall in most parts of the country were observed, and some patches only of near normal rainfall for these provinces na nandiyan naman sa ating slide. And for temperature, generally near to above average surface air temperatures were observed over most parts of the country. So with that, maraming salamat po. Sorry for the slow connection and hindi magandang internet connection sa akin. Thank you po.
So thank you. Thank you, Ma'am Rosie, for the climate condition. Next po, mag-represent sa atin for the climate outlook for the month of August 2022, January 2021, Ms. Annalisa Solis, Chief ng Climate Monitoring and Prediction. Ma'am Ana, good afternoon po.
Thank you, Edric. Naririnig nyo at nakikita ang screen ko?
Yes. Yes po.
Okay na, okay. So, good afternoon po. So, to continue, climate outlook for the next 6 months from August to January 2021. So, our presentation ay naglalaman po about ENSO status, climate outlook for the next 6 months, and then the summary. So, titingnan po natin yung ENSO indicators pa rin natin at a glance kung bakit tayo nakapag-issue po ng La Nina Watch recently, just last July 15. So, makikita po natin yung oceanic indicator in terms of sea surface temperature anomaly during the last 4 weeks. Nakikita po natin yung persistent cooling dun sa Central and Eastern Equatorial Pacific, lalo na po yung just below the equator of the Eastern Pacific. Ito po yung nagkakaroon ng persistent cooling. Kung babalikan po natin nung nakaraang buwan, nung last forum natin, ay hindi po ganito kalawak yung cooling dito sa Central at Eastern Equatorial Pacific. And outside of the CEEP and just below the equator, yung other portion po ng ating Tropical Pacific, ay meron naman pong mga unusual warming, lalo na dito po malapit sa banda sa may Pilipinas. So yun po yung ating sea surface temperature anomaly. Doon naman po sa pinakang subsurface or just between 0 to 300 meters below surface, titingnan po natin din kung may persistent cooling din po just beneath the surface po nung ating ibabaw ng dagat. At makikita po natin na in the last 2 months, may persistent cooling din po dun sa subsurface temperature anomaly, lalong-lalo na po dun sa Eastern Pacific Ocean. So, consistent with cooling of La Nina, pati na po dito sa may Eastern Equatorial Pacific. Next. Wait. In terms of atmospheric indicator naman po, yung tinatawag nating sea level pressure differences between the West and Eastern Pacific, nakikita po natin na consistent din po, continuous rising po yung ating tinatawag na Southern Oscillation Index. So typical po na developing La Nina. So ibig sabihin po kapag negative or temperature anomaly at positive naman po yung Southern Oscillation Index, so ibig sabihin po meron siyang SISO indicator na nagkakaroon po ng interaction between the atmosphere and the sea surface and the ocean. And makikita po rin natin, although may persistent siya na pagtaas po ng SOI, but still at ENSO neutral state pa rin po yung nakikita natin. Pero nakikita po natin na medyo tumataas yung SOI natin. So, pag sinabi po natin sustained positive values above positive 7, typically indicate La Nina. during the last 4 weeks in latest weekly. So ating pinakita na rin po yata to ni Miss Rusi. So meron po tayong mga nakikitang persistent cooling sa Eastern Equatorial Pacific and the rest of the Tropical Pacific Ocean, including other Niño regions. So it seems na meron tayong persistent cooling na sea surface temperature anomalies sa Central at Eastern Pacific at meron po tayong persistent rising ng Southern Oscillation Index. So the cooling ocean does not practice social distancing. So ibig sabihin nagkakaroon na po ng reaction yung ating sea surface temperature and yung atmospheric indicator natin. So hindi na rin uso sa kanila yung social distancing nowadays. Kaya po nagpalabas tayo ng La Niña Watch at posible pong magkaroon ng munting epekto ito. So in terms of ENSO outlook, whether may El Nino, La Nina, or neutral condition in terms of probability, ENSO neutral is most likely to continue through June, July, August 2020, with La Nina favored around 50 to 55%, beginning in August to October 2020, and continuing through December, January, February 2020-2021 season. Makikita po natin yung mga blue bars dyan. Ito po yung higher probability of having La Nina at least mag-start po ng August, September, October up to December, January, February at higher than their climatological probability. Ibig sabihin po yung nakikita natin pong mga line graphs dyan, yung kulay blue, yung line graph na blue, yun po yung climatological probability of having La Nina during that season. So nakikita po natin sa forecast na bar na probability, mas mataas po siya sa climatological probability. Ito naman po yung purely objective type, purely model outlook na hindi po ginagamitan ng intervention from expert judgment ng ating mga international scientists. Still more than 50% of having La Nina at least up to December, January, February, higher than having ENSO neutral condition. So yan po yung latest na probabilistic forecast. Base naman po sa mga model predictions, both dynamical and statistical models in terms of sea surface temperature anomaly, yung pong mga nasa taas na mga listahan ay mga dynamical models at yung pong nasa baba ay mga listahan ng statistical models. At base po dyan, kung titingnan natin yung iba't ibang La Nina threshold ng sea surface temperature anomaly forecast, ang sinasabi ng mga statistical models ay posibleng ma-reach yung La Nina threshold October, November, December 2020 season, whereas yung mga dynamical po ay nakikita po naman nila yung mas maagang unusual cooling na maka-reach ng La Nina threshold August, September, October 2020. But kung susumahin natin po yung average ng lahat ng models na ito of having to reach La Nina threshold ay October, November, December 2020 yung nakikita. Kaya ang inilagay din po natin sa ating La Nina watch is either to begin in October, late October, or November this year. So dahil po dyan, nakataas nga po yung La Nina watch at more than 50% possibility of La Nina in either late October or November 2020. Yan po yung bago nating ENSO alert system. Ano po ba pag sinabi nating La Nina watch? So babalikan lang po natin. Meron po tayong itinaas na types of alert system for La Nina. We have La Nina watch, La Nina alert, La Nina advisory, and then final La Nina advisory. So nandito po tayo sa La Nina watch, meaning favors development of La Nina conditions within the next 6 months and probability is 55% or higher. But it does not guarantee that La Nina will occur. Posibleng hindi po matuloy, posible pong magtuloy-tuloy. At saka lang po tayo magtataas or i-upgrade natin sa another next level alert system. Forecast po natin, climate outlook from August to January 2021. These are the weather systems that might affect our country for the next 6 months. So kabilang pa rin po dyan yung mga tinatawag nating local thunderstorm activities, southwest monsoon, tail end of cold front, easterlies, transition from northeast from southwest to northeast monsoon, low pressure areas, and then tropical cyclones. And then meron din po tayong reeds of high pressure areas. So mostly po ay mga rain-bearing weather systems except for the reeds of high pressure areas. That's why hindi po masyado makapenetrate yung ating habagat dahil po yung presence po ng reeds of high pressure areas dito sa may northeastern portion ng ating bansa, Pacific Ocean, and strong easterlies din po. Ito po kasi yung indikasyon na kapag malakas ang easterlies, La Nina might develop. So yun po yung nananatili nating weather system. Sa ating mga rainfall map, so familiar na po tayo dun sa ating pula, dilaw, green, at saka blue na way below, near normal, at above normal rainfall conditions. So here's our fearless forecast for the next 6 months. Loud and clear po, okay lang? Hello? Okay po.
Okay po, ma'am. Kanino po?
Sige. For the month of August, so generally, ay near normal rainfall condition with some patches of above normal rainfall condition dito sa may eastern portion po ng Visayas and also some portions po dito sa may parte ng Mindanao. And around 71 provinces might experience near normal rainfall condition while around 11 provinces might experience above normal rainfall condition. Pagdating po ng September, so dun po sa kaliwa, ito po yung mapa ng normal na distribution ng ulan natin during the months of September. Sa gitna po ay yung ating forecast rainfall in terms of millimeters of rain for September. At dito po sa kanan yung pong percent normal. Makikita po natin na generally near normal rainfall condition are except for around 7 provinces that might experience above normal rainfall condition. Mostly nandito po sa may northern part ng Luzon and also southern part of Mindoro and also part po dito sa may central Luzon area and eastern Visayas. Meron din po tayong makikitang patches ng below normal rainfall condition dito po sa mga small portions po ng Visayas area and northeastern Mindanao. Pagdating po ng October, so generally near normal pa rin po. Meron pong mga above normal rainfall condition. Ang forecast natin around 5 stations po, mostly dito po sa may eastern Luzon area and including Metro Manila. Around 77 provinces po ang makaka-experience ng near normal and 5 provinces for above normal rainfall condition. Pagdako po ng November, so mostly po, kung titingnan natin yung normal rainfall distribution during the months of November, ay mas mataas po yung concentration normally ng ulan natin dito sa eastern section. So hudyat po yan na amihan po ito during the months of November. And in terms of forecast rainfall in percent normal, generally near normal sa large portion po ng ating bansa, and around 3 provinces might experience above normal rainfall condition. Kasama na po dito yung parts po dito sa may ilang portion po ng Mimaropa area and patches dito sa may part po ng Visayas area. Meron din pong mga below normal rainfall conditions sa may parts po ng Ilocos region. Pagdating ng December, kung makikita po natin kung matatandaan natin na nag-issue tayo ng La Nina Watch at possible development of La Nina, kung hindi man pumatuloy ay La Nina-like condition, dito po na La Nina-like impact in terms of rainfall distribution natin pagdating po ng December. Dahil in general, more than around 72 provinces will experience above normal rainfall condition. except dito po sa may area, sa may Luzon area, nakaka-experience po ng near normal rainfall condition. So ito po yung potential adverse impact of La Nina or La Nina-like condition based po dun sa recent development dito po sa December nating forecast. Pagdating ng January 2021, meron pa din pong mga areas na makaka-experience ng above normal rainfall condition, around 10 provinces. And in general po ay near to above normal rainfall condition sa large portion po ng Visayas and Mindanao. Pero meron din pong mga way below to below normal rainfall condition dito po sa northwestern section ng Luzon, yung po yung tinatawag nating mga climate type 1 na normally during the months of January ay normally dry condition po sila dito sa mga lugar na ito. Ito po yung matrix natin ng rainfall forecast in terms of percent normal sa lahat ng mga province.
Since I started posting videos on YouTube,
halos near to above normal rainfall conditions po ang ating forecast sa whole areas ng ating bansa, except for some patches of below to way below normal rainfall condition pagdating po ng January 2021 sa may Luzon area. Pero all in all, near to above normal rainfall condition during the forecast 6 months period. Ito naman po yung in terms of millimeters of rainfall sa lahat ng region. Ito po ay sa Luzon. And then ito po sa Visayas at sa Mindanao. Sa ating mga watershed area, generally near to above normal rainfall conditions sa ating mga watershed. In general po, dito sa Angat watershed po natin ay near normal during the forecast period. Except meron po sa mga dams, watersheds po natin na pagdating ng December at October, meron po tayong mga above normal rainfall condition gaya sa Lake Buhi, Lake Lanao, Magat, Malinaw, Pantabangan, and San Roque watershed area. Pagdating po ng January, so ito pong ating tatlong watershed sa Magat Dam, Pantabangan, and San Roque Cascaded Watershed ay below normal rainfall condition ang ating forecast. Forecast naman po natin dito sa mga selected dams natin. So generally, near to above normal rainfall condition po. So mostly yung mga dam areas po natin ay above normal rainfall condition pagdating ng December. And then pagdating po naman ng January ay generally below normal rainfall conditions. August, September, October naman po na forecast dito sa ating mga selected river basin for Luzon and Mindanao. So, ganun pa rin po, generally near to above normal rainfall condition. Except yung below normal rainfall dito sa may Lawag River Basin pagdating po ng October. And then November, December, January, so generally near to above pagdating ng November, December. And then January po ay sa may mga river basins natin sa Luzon area, meron pong near and below normal rainfall condition. Sa mga catchment naman po natin dito sa may Mindanao area, pagdating ng January 2021, ay generally near normal rainfall conditions. Uncertainty. Gaano tayo ka-confident sa sinasabi natin whether below, near, or above normal rainfall condition ang may experience ng ating mga lugar? Yung pong mas matitingkad po ang mga shades, whether blue, green, or red bar po, ibig sabihin po, mas mataas po yung ating confidence or mababa yung uncertainty yung nakikita natin. So, kung titingnan po natin dito during the months of August, mataas po yung ating confidence to forecast above normal rainfall condition dito sa may Mindanao area. Dito naman po sa may Luzon, ay mataas ang ating confidence to forecast above normal rainfall condition during the months of September, October, lalong-lalo na po pagdating ng December, particularly sa general portions po ng Visayas at Mindanao. So meaning highly certain po that during the months of December, Visayas and Mindanao will experience above normal rainfall conditions. So dito po yung nakikita natin na mas better yung skill ng ating mga nakikitang forecast when we try to forecast December rainfall. And also dito po sa may Luzon area for September and October forecast. So yun po yung interpretation ng ating probabilistic rainfall maps. In terms of average surface temperature, yung makikita po nating mga red shades dyan ay meaning slightly above or above average or way above average po yung ating pag-init ng temperatura. In general, makikita po natin na medyo mainit yung ating temperatura pagdating po ng October, November, December, lalong-lalo na po dito sa general portion po ng Visayas and Mindanao. So yung mga nakikita nating blue shades, yun po yung slightly cooler than average. And then yung pong white shades po dyan ay near average lang po or around between 0.5 degrees centigrade lang po yung anomaly dun sa average surface temperature during this month sa mga areas po sa ating bansa. So medyo mas mararamdaman natin yung medyo mainit yung December. So meaning po yung ating December ay hindi masyadong mainit o typical po during La Nina condition na yung ating December ay hindi po masyadong malamig. This is based on recent condition. Kung may unusual cooling sa Central at Eastern Equatorial Pacific, and then syempre po unusual warming naman po yung malapit dito sa karagatan sa atin. Temperature extremes for maximum and minimum temperature sa 5 sub-regions subdivided into Northern Luzon, Lowland Luzon, Mountainous Luzon, Metro Manila, Lowland Visayas, Lowland Mindanao, and Mountainous Mindanao. Ang pinakamataas na temperature na posible nating maranasan in terms of temperature extremes ay around more than 35 degrees during the forecast period. And we could get as low as 11 degrees, 8.9 pagdating po ng December dito po sa mountainous areas of Luzon. So medyo slightly warmer and then slightly cooler din po pagdating po ng December in terms of extreme minimum and maximum temperature respectively. Bagyo 2 or 3 sa August, September 2 or 3, October 2 or 3, November 1 or 2, December 1 or 2, January 1 or 2. So around 9 to 12 tropical cyclones po ang posible pa nating maranasan during the forecast period from August to January 2021. At nasa kanan po ninyo yung ating mga historical or climatological prepared tracks po monthly ng ating mga bagyo. So, usually po, during this time of the year, so meron pong mga nagla-landfalling sa may southern, central, northern, and extreme northern Luzon. And then, meron din pong mga non-landfalling dito po sa may northeastern tip po ng Luzon. Yan po yung usual tracks ng ating bagyo. At mas maraming nagla-landfall during the months of September, October, November season. For summary, cool ENSO neutral condition continues to persist across the tropical Pacific Ocean. Nakataas po ang ating La Nina watch or meaning possibility of La Nina either late October or November 2020. Forecast for the whole country for the month of August, so generally near normal rainfall condition in most parts of the country. So except po dun sa Batanes, most of Eastern Visayas, Davao Region, Misamis Oriental, Sarangani, and Basilan that might experience above normal rainfall conditions. Sa September, generally near normal din po, merong mga above normal sa CAR, Ilocos Sur, Cagayan, and Pampanga. And the rest po, meron din pong below normal rainfall conditions. Pagdating ng October, generally near normal rainfall condition, may above normal rainfall over Quirino, Aurora, Metro Manila, Laguna, and Cavite. November, generally near normal rainfall condition for the whole country except Rizal, Palawan, Occidental Mindoro that will likely receive above normal rainfall conditions. December, so generally near to above, mostly po above normal rainfall conditions, and this will be likely in most parts of CAR, Region 2, Central Luzon, Calabarzon, whole of Visayas, and Mindanao. So ito po yung mga probinsya na matamang posible nating babantayan at i-monitor po sa mga possible flash floods and landslides or flooding kung sakali pong maka-experience ng above normal rainfall condition sa mga lugar na nabanggit. And then pagdating po ng January 2021, so may mga areas pong way below to below normal, so mostly parts of Luzon area, while the rest of the country generally near to above normal rainfall condition. Temperature near to above average temperature over most areas of the country during the forecast period, except meron pong mga slightly below average temperature in July in some areas of Luzon and the Visayas. Around 9 to 12, tropical cyclones may enter or develop inside PAR during the forecast period. And eto po, babantayan po natin, i-monitor po natin itong developing La Nina, and updates and advisories shall be issued whenever necessary. And despite this ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, so tinatry po nating makasurvive at makasalba at maisagawa po natin itong climate forum na ito para po maihatid natin sa inyo yung mga latest update from PAGASA. And tentative po na next schedule po natin ng Climate Forum 127 ay sa August 26, 2020. So yun lang po at maraming salamat po.
So thank you, Ms. Ma'am Ana Solis, for the climate outlook. So kung may mga questions po kayo, pwede po nating i-raise dito sa ating chat box sa mga questions natin. Ayun po. So, may mga katanungan po ba? So, meron po question dito. Ini-raise po dito sa chat box kung kailan babalik ang tag-ulan. Sino po bang makakasagot po sa katanungan ito?
Okay. Actually, tag-ulan na po. Nagpalabas po tayo ng onset ng rainy season last June 12. So, ang nakikita nga lang po natin ay meron po tayong tinatawag na weak southwest monsoon activity. Kaya yung mga ibang lugar po ay medyo hindi nila nararamdaman yung tindi or bagsik ng habagat. At ganun din po yung ating mga occurrences ng mga bagyo dahil nakakaisa pa lang po tayo tapos tropical depression. So kumbaga hindi po nagsasanib yung puwersa nung surge ng southwest monsoon at ng bagyo kaya hindi po natin masyadong nararamdaman whether tag-ulan. Yun po yung if ever kung yun po yung ibig sabihin natin kailan babalik ang tag-ulan. So medyo umuulan na po dahil meron tayong mga local thunderstorm activity.
Thank you po, Ma'am Ana, sa answer niyo po sa question niyo. At meron pa po dito na isang question, Ma'am, from YouTube naman, galing. Ibig sabihin, matuloy man o hindi ang La Nina forecast ng above normal rainfall sa Mindanao at Visayas?
Yan po ay base po dun sa recent condition. So, ibig sabihin po, kung ang naoobserbahan po natin na kondisyon ay yung pong unusual cooling or atypical potential development of La Nina, so yun po yung nare-reflect na posibleng magiging epekto dun sa ulan natin na magkakaroon po ng above normal rainfall sa Mindanao at sa Visayas area, particularly December. So whether La Nina or not, based on recent condition of a typical likelihood of a La Nina, yun po yung nakikita nating nagre-reflect sa ating rainfall forecast.
Thank you po. So, any more questions po ba? Questions pa po?
Pwede po kayong mag-raise ng hand kung...
So ito po, meron pa pong question, ma'am. Ano po yung rainfall forecast dito sa Ilocos next week?
Sir Chris, si Chris Perez po ang sasagot.
Sir Chris?
Ano po yung katanungan?
Ano po yung rainfall forecast dito sa Ilocos next week?
Rainfall forecast po sa Ilocos next week. So far, for the next 3 to 5 days po, wala tayong inaasahang bagyo. Wala rin po tayong inaasahan na habagat episode. So kung magkakaroon man po ng pag-ulan sa Ilocos area next week, asahan po natin mga dulot lamang ng mga localized thunderstorm. Pero syempre po, may minomonitor tayong low pressure area. Titingnan natin kung ano man yung magiging development nito at kung makaka-apekto nga sa inyong area by next week. Patuloy po tayo magbibigay ng update through our public weather forecast. Kaya pinapayaan po natin na patuloy mo mag-monitor sa updates ng PAGASA from time to time.
Thank you po. Thank you, Sir Chris. So, any more questions pa po sa ating mga stakeholders? Wala na po ba? Ito pa po. Meron pa pong... So, from YouTube po ulit na katanungan, it's a perennial problem ang flooding sa mga towns along Cagayan River. What is your recommendation on mitigate the effect po?
Si Ma'am Sonia po ang sasagot.
Para ma-mitigate yung kailangan kasi may preparedness ang local government. Pati na rin po yung ating provincial disaster coordination unit. Dapat po meron silang naka-prepared na gagawin kung sakali man magkaroon ng mga bagyo or malalakas na pagulan.
Thank you, ma'am. So ito po ulit, may questions pa po ulit from YouTube. So, kung matuloy po ang La Nina, ano po ang ini-expect natin sa first quarter ng 2021? At susundan po ito ng El Nino.
So far nakita po natin dun sa probability ay mababa po yung probability of having La Nina. Kung matuloy man po ito ay weak La Nina condition. Ngayon, kung susundan ba ito ng El Nino ay hindi po. Kasi makikita po natin dun sa pinakita natin kanina, mas mataas pa rin po after La Nina yung probability of ENSO neutral condition. So, hindi po susundan agad ng El Nino. Either La Nina, magtuloy-tuloy, weak La Nina, and then ENSO neutral condition po yung forecast natin.
Thank you, Ma'am Ana. So, may next question pa po dito. Sir Marang, As ko lang, parang madalang tropical cyclone lately kasi need po precipitation dito sa Nueva Ecija. From YouTube again. Parang madalang,
gaya po nung, ma'am, si ma'am, opo, baka si ma'am S, si Doc SP po, Doc S.
Ano yun, Ana?
Ma'am, et daw po parang madalang ang tropical cyclone
lately.
kasi need po precipitation dito sa Nueva Ecija.
Madalang ang bagyo. Kaya, kasi need po.
Precipitation.
Yes. Di ba, for the past 2 months nga, di ba, July and June, may isa lang tayong bagyo. Kasi base dun sa nabanggit natin na weak din yung ating habagat. So, kung madalang ang bagyo, lalo na ngayon, mas kukonti talaga yung precipitation na marireceive natin. So, kahit kailangan nila yung ulan, kung hindi ma-enhance yung habagat, most probably ay talagang mas kukonti yung ulan na marireceive. We are just having thunderstorms, pero hindi sapat ito upang magdala ng maraming ulan kagaya ng may bagyo. So expect natin, kagaya nga ng forecast kanina na halos wala tayong habagat ngayong week na ito, walang masyadong ulan na marireceive. And your forecast is yung mga bagyo natin na darating is sa August pa 2 or 3, tama ba? Tama ba? 2 or 3? Yeah. So, hindi natin masasabi na kaya ng mga thunderstorms at ng mga nung week na southwest monsoon na magpadami ng ulan doon sa Nueva Ecija. Ang isang pwedeng gawin is magkaroon ng possible ay cloud seeding. Ito yung isang tinitingnan ng ating, but this is through the DA, no? Yung Bureau of Soils and Water Management. Sila yung nag-handle nito together with, mayroon yata silang project with Philippine Air Force tungkol sa cloud seeding. Ito yung pwedeng gawin kung talaga kukulangin yung Nueva Ecija at kailangan ito ng ating magsasaka.
Thank you po, Ms. Doctor. Thank you po, Ma'am SP. Answer po.
Thank you, ma'am.
So, meron pa pong question pa po dito. Mas marami po ba ang bagyo kapag natuloy ang La Nina season from Pacific of Bismonte Jr.?
Ano po? Question ulit. Mas maraming bagyo kapag La Nina.
Pag La Nina season po.
Hindi po. Actually, mas madami pong La Nina years na mas kokonti po yung ulan, kokonti po yung bagyo prior dun sa development ng La Nina. Pero depende rin po sa timing at saka sa strength or sa haba po ng La Nina. Pero usually po, kapag short-lived lang po, maikli lang ang La Nina condition at nagkakaroon po ng delayed na development ng La Nina, mas kokonti po yung bilang ng bagyo this year, and then yung following year naman po. Kasi usually po, depende po sa timing kasi ng La Nina at saka sa El Nino. So, ganun po. Makikita natin na may mga areas na during La Nina, kapag matatagal yung La Nina, mas madami po yung bagyo natin. Pero kapag maikli lang po yung La Nina season, mas kokonti po yung ating bagyo dahil dumidepende na rin po dun sa timing nung short-lived La Nina at saka strength. Kaya po nakikita natin ngayon na may tinatawag tayong seasonal reversal ng ENSO rainfall kapag may El Nino or La Nina, na kung saan kapag habagat, mas kokonti ang bagyo, mas kokonti ang ulan. Pagdating naman po ng last quarter of the year, yun po yung mas marami ang bagyo at mas marami ang ulan, typically kapag po may La Nina. So, kung late po yung arrival or yung pagdating ng La Nina ng October o November, so doon na lang po bumabawi nung bilang nung bagyo. Kaya minsan po, kapag weak yung La Nina, kokonti yung bilang ng bagyo. Pero kung matagal yung La Nina at yung timing ng arrival ng La Nina ay medyo maaga, mas madami po ang bagyo natin. Dahil historically, yung La Nina year po na pinakamarami tayong bagyo ay around 33. That was strong La Nina condition. Pero hindi po yun nangyayari all the time. So, depende po sa strength at saka po dun sa magnitude nung La Nina condition.
So, thank you po, Ma'am Ana. So, may question pa po ba sa inyo? So, Ma'am, meron po dito, posible po ba na by region ng weather forecast? Parang follow-up question po ito dun sa kanina.
Ano po? Question uli. Last question na to, Edwin ka na.
Ang tanong,
Posible po ba na by region ng weather forecast?
actually, we have regional centers or yung PAGASA Regional Services Division. So, meron silang ini-issue kasi we have 5. Currently, we have 5 Regional Services Division, no? Kasi we have 5 and nag-i-issue sila sa region nila. Kaya meron tayong localized na na weather forecast. So sa Northern Luzon, we have the Northern Regional PAGASA Regional Services Division na naka-house sa Tuguegarao, Cagayan. Pero nag-i-issue sila. Meron silang ini-issue and meron din tayong websites ng regional centers natin. Meron din tayong website ng regional centers. So, sa Bicol area, Southern Luzon, we have in Legazpi. So, meron silang ini-issue. And then sa Visayas, we have in Mactan, Cebu. And sa Mindanao, yung El Salvador, meron tayong doon. Paki-check na lang yung ating regional weather forecast kung sa ating sa PAGASA website, merong nakalagay doon na parang sa kanya-kanyang regions, doon sa 5 na nabanggit ko. So, meron na po yan.
Thank you, Ma'am SK. So, any more? Meron pa po ba? So, yun na po yung ating last question po. Maraming pong salamat po ulit sa mga stakeholders na dumalo at nakibahagi sa atin, pati na rin po sa kay Ma'am Edna Wanilio na ngayon po naka-survivor rin po nasa meet forum po natin at pati na rin po marami po rin salamat dun sa mga hindi ko na rin po nabanggit na ating mga stakeholders. Marami pong salamat sa pagdalo po sa 126 Climate Forum at ito po bilang and yung message ni Ma'am Edna Wanilio bilang closing remarks po.
A blessed and safe afternoon po muli sa ating lahat. Nagpapasalamat tayo sa Panginoon na binigyan tayo ng pagkakataon upang maisaayos ang ating Climate Outlook Forum na ito, virtually of course. This is, I think, the second via Zoom, and there are already 4 of a series via online.
Wala pong sound, ma'am.
The second, the 2 first ones were via FB Live. Although itong ating Zoom ngayon ay via FB Live din at Twitter. Unang-una, nagpapasalamat ako of course sa ating mga kasamahan sa PAGASA na tumutulong lagi sa ating pag-conduct ng Climate Outlook. A blessed and safe afternoon po muli sa ating lahat. Nagpapasalamat tayo sa Panginoon na binigyan tayo ng pagkakataon upang maisaayos ang ating Climate Outlook Forum na ito, virtually of course. This is, I think, the second via Zoom, and there are already 4 of a series via online. Like the two first ones were via FB Live. Although itong ating Zoom ngayon ay via FB Live din at Twitter. Unang-una, nagpapasalamat ako of course sa ating mga kasamahan sa PAGASA na tumutulong lagi sa ating pag-conduct ng Climate Outlook Forum na ito, lalong-lalo na po yung taga-ETSD, ICT, or yung Engineering and Technical Services Division na nangangasiwa po dito sa pag-ayos ng mga ekwipo para magawa po natin itong activity. At yung mga speakers po natin na galing sa Weather Division, Hydromet Division, at higit sa lahat, yung mga taga-Climate Monitoring and Prediction Section ng Climatology and Agrometeorology Division na pinangungunahan ni Ms. Annalisa Solis. Sila po talaga ang nangunguna sa pag-ayos sa lahat ng mga ginagawa dito sa Climate Outlook Forum. We also are very grateful for the support and ending support of our administrator, Dr. Vicente Malano, and our OIC Deputy Administrator for R&D, Dr. Esperanza Kayanan. So next, Climate Outlook Forum, of course, will be again via Zoom. And we all look forward na makakasama po muli namin kayo, lalong-lalo na po yung mga loyal and na ating mga stakeholders. We would like to encourage you to join us once again sa next Climate Outlook Forum on August 2020. So stay safe po tayong lahat.
Nakita po muli sa 127 Climate Outlook Forum on August 26, 2020. Tentative po itong date na to. So, marami pong salamat. Magandang hapon po muli sa inyo lahat.
Thank you, Edric.
Yes, ma'am.